Good evening, I'm Daryl Stranger, and this is Face to Face. Our guest this week is music producer and recording artist Mattmac. Matt is from Garden Hill First Nation in Manitoba and has been blind since birth. He hasn't let that stop him as an artist. He first began to make beats and write songs when he was just 13. He recently won Rap Electronic Album of the Year at the Summer Solstice Indigenous Music Awards and has worked with artists like Nelly Furtado. On Spotify in 1 year, his work was streamed more than 250,000 times. Matt, thanks so much for being with us here on Face to Face.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, as we just heard in the introduction, the last few years, and 2021 especially, you seem to grow so much as an artist. What's this past year been like for you?
This past year's been like absolutely crazy because there's been like a lot of things that's been happening. Like the introduction said, my Spotify numbers like went up like crazy, and like I just started releasing music too. Also got to do like a whole bunch of like really cool stuff. Got to attend the summer solstice indigenous. I got to attend the summer solstice music awards, which I did won an award for that. So it's been great.
Now, Matt, you've been blind since birth. How has that been both a challenge and maybe a blessing as well?
Just to speak on this a little bit. So, for me anyways, there was definitely some challenges. For instance, I got depressed at a really early age. Due to my blindness, and it was like, why was I different? And I was asking myself all these questions, and it just kind of led into that depression. I've been singing since like 4. I've been singing since I was 4, and that led me to like stop because I hit depression at such a young age, at the age of 8, that caused me to stop music for like a couple years.
Mm-hmm. And so how has music helped you overcome depression? Does it come out in your music?
I definitely say so. There are a couple things that I talk about in my music that I'm going through like personally, whether like I'm talking about like isolation or being stuck in your head or overthinking. It's just like a lot of that. Like for me, it's like it helped just to like talk about these things. So like it's an outlet for me for sure.
Now, do you remember the first time you picked up an instrument, and if so, can you tell us about which instrument and kind of how that all came to be?
Yeah, so I've always my mom always gave me these pianos for like Christmas as a kid, but I never really like took it seriously until I was like 13. Then I really started like teach myself how to play it. I remember like the first time. I don't think I can remember the first time I held an instrument, but the moment when I had started the moment I started teaching myself how to play the keyboard. It was pretty cool because I've always wanted to do something like that, to be part of music in that way.
Mm-hmm. So what inspired you to teach yourself music, Matt?
I think one part of it was like the technology aspect, because also at the time I was also learning how to use a laptop. I had an HP laptop, and I was messing around with a lot of like audio apps, like audio editing apps, recording apps, Then I like found this free open source software that I was using for like a while. I stumbled upon it. It was called what was this? I started out with this program called Audacity, believe it or not. People who use audio editors will kind of be familiar with that. So that's like what I started off with, and then I like started playing with my laptop, and then from there it just kind of like became like me learning how to play the keyboard, so then I can build together like these tracks on my laptop.
Now, Matt, last month was Indigenous Disabilities Awareness Month. What advice do you have for anyone that might be living with a disability?
My advice to you is, look, let's keep it real. My advice to whoever's like indigenous and who has a disability, or just having like an obstacle that you're dealing with, I say just follow your dreams no matter how difficult and no matter how hard that obstacle can make it, because let's face it, um, like there's a lot of things going on in this world, and for me it's just like I wanted something, and I wanted to do this. Music is my thing, and I didn't let that blindness stop me from doing what I wanted to do. So if I can make it here on TV, I think you can too. Whatever that is you want to achieve.
Well, definitely great advice. And jumping back to your music for a second here, what's your favorite part about making music?
Oh, putting me on the spot here. What is my favorite part of making music? That's a tough one, because I do everything from like I make beats, I record, I write, I produce, I record my own stuff, I mix my own vocals. I think my favorite part is, well, ultimately, one of my favorite parts. Now it switches, because one of my favorite parts of making music is like, yeah, the production stuff is cool. Yeah, recording it is awesome. Seeing it come together is really great, and it's really rewarding. But my favorite part of making music is releasing music for other people to hear, and for other people to like relate to.
Now, when you first sort of got started in making the music and recording and stuff, did you think you'd be doing all of this, or were you sort of just set on maybe making some beats and writing on the side, or was it kind of always your goal to bring it all together?
Yeah, so I was just making beats normally. I was just making like these tracks, like before, like I was I'd actually wanted to make EDM music, so that's I never thought I'd be doing this. Like I knew I was gonna do something with music. That was in my plans for sure, but this was just like it started to happen, and I was like, okay, so this is going a different way. Where where this is going, I'm really liking it. So.
Now, how did you come up with the name Mattmac as your artist name?
Yeah, so this is a really good so this is a really good story. How did it come up with the name Mattmac? Well, here's the story that I love to tell. So, how did I come up with the name? I would go on this online audio platform where I would talk to people, and a lot of the blind community would be active on this application. A lot of this blind community would be active on this application, and I had a friend. Every time I would log on, every time I would like join a server, I would always be told, because I had a display name, because this app is multi-platform. It's cross-platform. It's available on phone. It's available on the computer. So I had the app installed on my computer, and I logged on just to talk to people, just to hang out with people. And my friend, he goes, because you have to understand, my display name was Matt on Mac. So this was the iconic moment. I logged on to the server. I joined, started talking to a couple people, started talking to a couple friends, and one of them, when I immediately joined, he said, "Hey, look, it's Mattmac," and I was like, "Oh." To be completely honest with you, I did not like the name. It didn't go with me the first time. I was like, bro, that I know you told me that sounds fun to say, but don't call me that again. But he was like, but bro, come on, it's fun to say. That should be your like thing. And it wasn't for a while because I didn't like it at first. But over time, it just kind of grew on me, and I started using that as my display name. And ultimately, it just turned out. Ultimately, I just started making music and making beats under that name. So,
Well, I got to say that's one of the better artist origin names. But Matt, we've got to step aside for a quick break here, and then we'll continue the conversation here on Face to Face with music producer and recording artist Mattmac. Stay with us. Welcome back to Face to Face. Our guest this week is music producer and recording artist Mattmac. Now, Matt, how important is your First Nations culture to your music? Are there certain teachings you rely on, or how are they reflected in your music?
I was never like raised like that. I was always like raised in like a Christian home. So like, um, I've definitely been singing this. I've definitely been singing since I was like 4. Um, I grew up in like a gospel home, so that was like what my upbringing was. Um, I don't really like talk about that type of thing in my music. That's not something I really touch up on. But I've definitely like my influence and my style kind of like reflects like my upbringing and like how I used to like sing before. So yeah.
Now, you live in a fly-in reserve, so Matt, what are some of the challenges of making music from Garden Hill?
Yeah, so one of the few challenges I'd like to talk about is making music from Garden Hill is one, the collaborative aspect of it. I like to work with a lot of people online, and being from Garden Hill, you have a very, very limited internet connection, so that makes it like really difficult for me to send files back and forth, send sessions back and forth, um, vocals or like beats. Sometimes that can get a struggle. Sometimes that could like turn into a struggle itself, and just like stresses me out, and like there's like my whole day. Um, but that's like one of the things that I would say is one of the few challenges of making music from Garden Hill is like the collaborative aspect of it. Um, so like sending stuff to people. Another thing is like getting access to like things, like say if my computer breaks down or like something happens, I can't just like go take a 15-minute drive down to like the mall or like get it repaired at a computer store, um, and that's just not like an option. So like you have to like fly it out, or like if something were to happen, we'll have to like take a lot of time to like fly it out. Um, so that's like one of the couple things.
So how have you been able to overcome those challenges when they do come up?
Yeah, so like lately Garden Hill had an upgrade to their cellular infrastructure, and I started using my LTE hotspot to get a lot of these things done, and also I also been using my LTE hotspot to get like performance online virtual performances done, and that's what I've been doing. Um, it's like a great thing with like these things is it works, but it's still like limited to like however like whatever my data provider provides me, like what plan I'm limited to. So like it's still there, but like it's still not the best option, but it's somewhat there.
Now, outside of music, Matt, what do you like to do? What are some of your hobbies?
I like messing with computers a lot. I'm a very tech savvy guy. I'm a very family oriented person, so a lot of my time is spent with my nieces and nephews, and my mom, and whoever's like in my household. Um, I like listening to the radio a lot. That's for sure. I watch. I like to watch like YouTube videos and look at people who make music, and also like just enjoy like my own form of entertainment. Um, I also like doing voiceover work, so like producer tags and um, like I don't know, just general voiceover work. That's something I like to do.
Now, do you have a message for any other young, aspiring Indigenous artists or anyone with whatever their dream is?
Yeah. So I do have a message. Um, my advice, my message to you is there's so many things you're gonna learn in this path. So like the idea is to never allow yourself to stop learning. Never allow yourself to stop growing. Um, you may get to a point in time where like, oh, okay, I know this stuff, so like this should be easy. No, it's always a lot of learning. It's always a lot of growing, and it's a lot of opportunities and a lot of opportunities to learn and grow. So, my advice to you: take what you can, um, and learn and grow as you go, and just go for whatever you're trying to accomplish, because anything is possible.
Well, that's certainly great advice, Matt. And if you could work with one artist or producer, do you have a name of who that might be?
An artist or producer, because I am an artist and producer, so like um I have I have one for both. Producer, gee, that's kind of a difficult one. Either a cross between Nick Mira, who produces a lot of a lot of Juice World stuff. Either Nick Mira or Wheezy, who is a trap producer who is known for like a lot of Travis Scott and Gunna stuff, and who's like known for like a lot of Gunna stuff and like Lil Baby stuff. So yeah, an artist, I'd say I'm not sure. That's a tough one. There's like a whole bunch of artists I really want to work with. To name a few: Nav, Lil Baby, and Gunna. Those are like my top three, and for sure, something that isn't hip hop based, I would like to work with uh, Owl City. He's someone who I used to listen to a lot, and someone who I can relate to his music to. So, yeah.
Well, hopefully you get the chance one day, but it is time for another quick break, and then we'll continue the conversation here on Face to Face with music producer Mattmac. Stay with us. Welcome back to Face to Face. Our guest this week is Mattmac. Now, Matt, what are some of your goals for yourself as an artist and music producer?
So, what are my goals for myself as a music producer and an artist? Well, I would like to put out a certain amount of albums, and cause like I'm everywhere with my music, and um, I would like to eventually like make at least different albums with like my favorite genres to make. Like hip hop and trap is like my main one, of course, but maybe it would be cool to do like a pop album or like an acoustic album or something along the lines of that. Um, but that's something I want. That's something I would like to do eventually. And I'm a music producer as well, so like I make beats. I make a lot of beats. Um, Another thing I really want to do um, is make a project and get a whole bunch of people like in my network that are pretty known, and make an album, produce an album, and get people to like feature on it. And then I'd be like putting together like features, a feature list, and then like I would send beats out to a couple of artists to get on a song, and then yeah, just like a huge collaborative project.
Now, Matt, this is kind of leads right into my next question, are you able to share with us what you have upcoming in the new year, and maybe any collaborations or an album or something like that?
Yeah, so I'm currently in the middle of like album production. Um, so so I'm currently working on my new album, which is called Blurred Visions. The the project is gonna be it's gonna have like a lot more songs on it than my last one. I've been releasing music videos for the past couple months now. Those are like leading singles to the project. So like hopefully I'm having to have a project out by the middle of spring, say like between March and like June, somewhere around that time period. Um, so yeah, this just a little bit of what's to come.
Now, out of all of the music you've made, Matt, do you have a favorite song or a favorite collaboration?
A favorite song? Well, I can't say anything. I can't go into too much detail, but one of my favorite songs right now is it's on the Blurred Visions album. There's like two of them that I really can't wait for the world to hear. There's like two or three songs that I'm like really excited for. But right now it's like, if we're talking like release, like what's actually out there, I really like Play the Hero because it's still like not Play the Hero. In talks, we're talking about like stuff that's released. Maybe like Break Me Down, because that still resonates with me today. That's to like where I'm at, and like what I'm trying to accomplish, and how my everyday thoughts.
Well, Matt, that's all the time we have for this week. Thank you so much for joining us here on Face to Face.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been awesome.
Now, you can catch up on any episodes you may have missed by visiting our website, aptnnews.ca. Now, this show and each and every episode of Face to Face is also available as a podcast, and you can find those at aptnnews.ca/face-to-face podcast. I'm Daryl Stranger. Thanks for tuning in to Face to Face. Have a great night and happy holidays, everyone.
Dreams are alive. I will take your lead. I just wanna take some time.